Besides being known as the best judge in the world, Frank Caprio really knew how to enjoy his life. But have you ever stopped to think about how this celebrity lived? In this video, you will discover what Frank Caprio's life was like. Career. Francesco Frank Caprio was born on November 23, 1936, in the Italian-American neighborhood of Federal Hill, in the city of Providence, Rhode Island, United States. Son of Antonio Caprio, an immigrant from Tiano, Italy, and Filomena Caprio, an American daughter of immigrants from Naples, Frank grew up in a humble home, without hot water but full of love, respect, and family unity. During his youth, he worked as a shoe shiner, dishwasher, and helper on his father's milk truck. In 1953, he graduated from Central High School, where he won the state wrestling championship. Later, he graduated from Providence College and, since he could not afford to attend law school full-time, he taught American government during the day and attended Suffolk University Law School in Boston at night. He also served in the Rhode Island National Guard between 1954 and 1960. His public career began early. He was elected to the Providence City Council in 1962, where he remained until 1968. In 1975, he served as a delegate to the Rhode Island Constitutional Convention, as well as representing the state at 5 Democratic National Conventions. In 1985, he began his career as a judge on the Providence Municipal Court. For nearly 4 decades, Caprio stood out for his empathetic behavior, listening attentively and treating each person with respect, which became his trademark. In 2018, the show Caught in Providence, which aired his hearings, began to be distributed nationwide and soon conquered the internet. His videos went viral on social media, amassing more than 10 billion views. Even after his retirement in January of 2023, Caprio continued working as a lawyer, involved in social and educational causes. In February of 2025, he released his first book, Compassion in the Court: Life-Changing Stories from America's Nicest Judge. Frank Caprio passed away on August 20th of 2025 at the age of 88, leaving behind an eternal legacy of humanity, ethics, and justice. So, shall we learn more about how his life was? But first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell. Real estate. Frank Caprio lived most of his life in Providence, Rhode Island, where he kept his main residence. The house was located in a quiet and traditional area of the city, near the Federal Hill neighborhood, where he was born. The property was in American colonial style, with about 300 square meters, 4 bedrooms, a library, a spacious kitchen, and an outdoor garden. The decoration was simple, with classic furniture and objects connected to the family's Italian heritage. The house was built not only to accommodate his wife and children, but also to welcome his grandchildren and relatives for frequent gatherings. Despite his fame, Caprio never showed interest in moving to larger centers like New York or Los Angeles. According to estimates from websites, the market value of a house with this profile in Providence is approximately $850,000. Nothing humble. He probably owned other properties, but this residence represented Caprio's bond with his origins and with the local community, where he spent his entire life journey. Even with the success of the show Caught in Providence, he chose to remain in the same state where he was born, studied, and built his career. Home is home, isn't it? Luxuries. Although he was not a fan of frequent luxurious trips, Frank Caprio took advantage of his late fame to visit places connected to his roots. He traveled to Italy, especially to cities in search of reconnection with his family's origins. During his visits, he was recognized by fans who followed him on social media, being treated as a celebrity. During these trips, he stayed in mid to high-standard hotels. In Naples, there are hotels such as the Grand Hotel Vesuvio, with daily rates ranging between $350 and $800. In Rome, a reference is the Hotel de Russi, one of the most sophisticated in the Italian capital, where daily rates could exceed $1,200. During the summer, it was common for him to take boat rides. Although he did not own a vessel, he likely rented models such as the Azimut 55S, with an estimated daily cost between $3,000 and $5,000. In the United States, his trips were focused on professional commitments. He regularly visited cities such as Boston, New York, and Washington, participating in lectures and legal events. Discreet. Caprio wore high-end accessories during his travels, such as watches worth around $10,000. He truly enjoyed life, and he deserved it. Personal life. Of Italian-American origin, Caprio was raised in a close-knit family which directly influenced his way of seeing the world and leading his personal life. Over the years, he maintained a simple routine, prioritizing moments with his family and avoiding public exposure outside of his work as a judge and public figure. He always stayed away from controversies. Frank Caprio was married for more than 50 years to Joyce E. Caprio. Together they had 5 children: Frank T. Caprio, David Caprio, Marissa Caprio-Pache, John Caprio, and Paul Caprio. His family also includes 7 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. Caprio deeply valued family life and made sure to maintain frequent gatherings even after achieving international fame. In December 2023, he announced that he had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. The news was shared on his social media, where he also asked for prayers. In May 2024, he reported that he had completed treatment. However, in August 2025, he announced a relapse in his health condition. Frank Caprio passed away on August 20th of the same year at the age of 88 in Providence, Rhode Island, surrounded by his family, and one thing we know for sure, he will be missed: business. Despite his long career in public service, Frank Caprio also had involvement in the private sector in a discreet and strategic way. One of his main ventures was his partnership in the Coast Guard House restaurant, one of the most traditional restaurants in Narragansett, Rhode Island. The seaside restaurant is known for its seafood cuisine and for being a meeting point for the local elite and tourists. With decades of operation, the establishment also became a landmark of the city, and Caprio was frequently seen there at events and family gatherings. In addition, Caprio also monetized his public image through the personal brand built with the program Caught in Providence. Although he never directly participated in large-scale advertising campaigns, his presence on social media with more than 3 million Instagram followers and the success of the show made him a digital icon. It is estimated that he received royalties from television distribution and from the monetization of viral videos, which together accumulated more than 10 billion views over the years. His main source of income later in life came from licensing his image and selling his book, Compassion in the Court, published in February 2025. The work quickly entered the bestseller lists of nonfiction books in the United States. Part of the profits was allocated to scholarships at institutions he supported, such as Suffolk University Law School and Central High School, where he studied. Fortune. Although he maintained a modest lifestyle, Frank Caprio accumulated a considerable fortune over decades of work in the judiciary, political activity, and private business ventures. As a municipal judge in Providence, his annual salary could be around $150,000, an amount consistent with positions of his rank in the United States. In addition, during the years when his program Caught in Providence was nationally syndicated and achieved record digital audiences, Caprio began receiving royalties and shares of advertising revenue, although the exact figures were never publicly disclosed. Conservative estimates suggest that his passive income from viral videos and re-airings reached $500,000 per year, but nothing was ever confirmed. Even without flaunting wealth, his balanced financial management and solid investments ensured stability for his family and the continuous funding of his philanthropic actions. Surely he left plenty for them to share as inheritance. For us, what remains are the lessons from the best judge in the world.